Okay, I'm at a little rest station here. I'm just checking to make sure my GoPro is recording well. Sitting at the bench and looking out over the river, sort of. A lot of brush now, so it's hard to see. You can hear it though, right down there. I was going to talk about equipment. I didn't get to do much of that. I carry a bag on the back of my pack, and in it I carry spare electronics batteries for a GoPro and phone. I use these extended battery packs on the phone that double the life basically, and use a lot of battery while you're out here since you're running the Map My Ride app as well as the GoPro infrared app. Right now where I'm at on battery, I'm still at 100% on my battery, which means my I don't know if you can see it there, which means my battery pack is still providing battery power, and it's not depending on the iPhone battery yet. So anyway, in my bag I carry bear protection. I carry bear mace, which is also useful for dogs since I haven't seen that many bears out here, but dogs are really obstinate people. You're not supposed to use them on people. It can kill somebody, but it's nice to have it just in case. And I carry repair gear, water, food, necessities like that, in addition to my bottle of water on the bike. You can see my bike is set up with brake extenders and the disc brakes in the wheels, which I really like, because up here in the Northwest, when it's wet and muddy, regular brakes don't, V brakes don't work as well. So the disc brakes always work really well, and they're adjustable. I've got my bike set up with 27 gears, so a nice range for both climbing and as fast as you want to go on a downhill. I mentioned my bike was about 9 years old, so it's getting old now. It's an aluminum frame. I don't use any carbon on it, but someday I'd like some carbon on my bike. The lighter the better, right? But I do ride a little heavy and carry a lot of gear, so not a big deal. I also can mount saddlebags on here. I've got saddlebags for camping and whatnot. I can mount on this side, so I can carry a lot of gear on this bike, which is nice. All right, I'm gonna start my my Map My Ride app, and we will record the rest of the ride. I apologize I didn't get the first part of it here. I also carry a knife in case I come across any mushrooms, so usually a spare bag. Alright, start workout. I'm on silent right now, but I'm going to turn my sound on so I can hear it. Alright. Beautiful day to ride. Not a whole lot of traffic out here, and it's warm. It's low 80s. We'll work a little bit going up because this is where our altitude really starts to increase more. It's not a significant altitude ride, like I said. Total, I think, I don't even think it's 800. I think it's probably less than that, the elevation gain from the beginning to the end of the trail, but most of it's in the second half here. One of my favorite spots right here. See that old truck there in that field? Beautiful old truck and very photogenic, and the mountain behind it, you can barely see the mountain now because of the haze. So the mountain now is off to our right. We are turning to the east, and then we'll turn slightly north. This trail kind of is in a big fishhook shape. Started out heading south pretty much, and now that we've gone down below the town of Ording, we'll curve to the east and then head kind of up to the northeast to South Prairie. Once you get to South Prairie, the trailhead ends, but you can jump on the road, the highway at that point, the 160, let's say 165 maybe, or maybe it's still the 162 there, I'm not sure. And it heads up toward Carbonado, Mount Rainier, the Mowich side of Mount Rainier, And if you head off to the left up there, there's a big intersection where you can bear left. Maybe that's 165, and then you go up to Buckley. Buckley is just east of Bonnie Lake, northeast of Bonnie Lake. And sometimes I ride up there. It's quite a steep grade, heading up that couple miles of a hill. But if you head up to Buckley, you've got the Elk's Head Brewery up there, which I enjoy. Get a growler or whatever. Ah, we have a road hazard here. Chicken on the road. Watch out, chicken. I don't think that was well, it wasn't chicken, it was a rooster, I guess. Occasionally you'll see dogs and cats and other things on the road. Cats are usually pretty skittish, but chickens and dogs don't seem to care if you're here or not. Also frequently see deer right here in this section. So the 162 swings south from Ording and veers away from us, and then now it's coming up to us again. So off to our right, you'll see the highway on the other side of this field. Lots of berries, blackberry pickings off to our left. It's one of my favorite blackberry spots here. I'll show you another one up the highway a ways. Pick a lot of berries right here. This is where the keep out sign is. This is a farm where they raise bison. And sometimes you see bison out here, as well as emu, I think. Smallish ostrich kind of bird. And Texas longhorn steer. So an interesting mix of things sometimes out in this field, not right now. Used to have to stop here. They've changed the stop signs. Although now they have a sign that says not responsible for accidents. Yeah, right. Hey, if you hit somebody in an intersection, you have a stop sign and they don't, you are responsible. I think they probably put that up there because I had a friend, a cyclist, who was burning down here really fast. It's a little bit of a grade here going up, so you can come down pretty fast. And she wasn't paying close attention. She hit they used to have steel posts in the middle of the road. Real smart. I think those steel posts were there to keep the cars off the trail probably, but one of the side effects was occasionally a cyclist would hit one, and that hurts. She hit it with her hand. She was doing probably lots of logging trucks here, huh? Coming down out of the forest. She was doing probably 25 or 30 miles an hour and hit that post with her hand, broke a bunch of bones in her hand, flipped off her bike, a lot of bruises, contusions, and so forth. Took her a year to recover fully from that. I'm not sure she ever recovered fully, but it's a nasty accident. She was following her husband, another cyclist, who went by first, and he felt very guilty. I know that he didn't call it out to her, and she just wasn't paying attention and hit it. So after that, they took those posts out. I'm not sure if she was the reason or if there were others. Another little parking area here on the right. Believe it or not, this little hill here is 50 feet or whatever, is the steepest hill in the grade. And it's the only place really you need to mash. That's what I'm going to do now. Pretty view of the river. And that's the worst exercise you're going to get on this route. Pretty nice little stopping point here. Got a picnic table in there, barbecue, overlooking the river. You can have a nice lunch. The highway now, 162, is crossing under us. And most of the way it'll parallel us to the left, but off a ways. The Carbon River Bridge is coming up. Beautiful view of the river as it comes down off the glacier, off the mountain to the right. You'll see it in a moment. You can see there that it heads up to the east. I guess we're pointing more north now. More salmon berries, Scotch broom. You do a really nice job of maintaining this trail. Keep it nice and clean, generally well mowed. This is the season you have to mow every week or to keep the grass tight, but gotta do that when I get home. Favorite berry picking spot is right in here. Lots of blackberries. The road that's just over to our right that parallels the I think that's the South Prairie cutoff or something like that. Parallels us here. Lots of nice berry picking opportunities there, as well as on this trail directly. A little later, when the berries start coming on, around August, possibly earlier. Sometimes they come on late July. Okay, I've turned into this nature stop here. Ooh, little fish jump. The salmon fingerlings are having a good time here. There he goes again. Watch the water there. This is a little nature stop they put in with some interpretive signage here. It's getting kind of old now, but tells what's going on. Pretty little place. Used to be a lot less bushy around here. It's a nice stop on the way up. We're about halfway or so between Ording and South Prairie here now. Also wanted to give that guy who passed me and then slowed down with the exertion an effort to catch some distance so that he didn't have to hear me talking to myself. I always find it humorous when people give it all they've got to pass you and then die on the vine. I could have done the same thing to him, obviously, but like I say, I'm trying not to be competitive. No reason for that. Anyway, nice little spot here. They also have a picnic table and barbecue, as you can see. You can have a picnic. Often people here just enjoying it. Wow, it's warm and humid, much warmer than I typically have seen it on this. Typically on this portion of the trail between Ording and South Prairie, temperature drops about 10 degrees. It gets a lot cooler right in here for some reason, and that's really noticeable in the winter when there's ice on the ground here and not necessarily everywhere else. You have to be careful. It can be slippery, but it's nice in the summer when it cools off a little bit. It doesn't seem to have done it yet today. Maybe a few degrees. Lots of wild gourds growing along here, as you can see, as well as those horsetail. I don't remember what those are called, but they're kind of hollow and almost they grow along rivers frequently. Very pretty, as well as the berries and everything else. Also, up here on the right, we'll see a couple apple trees, and there's a wild apple tree up here on the right that I'll show you. That apples are pretty far off the ground and hard to get to, but occasionally, if you're lucky, you can get a stick and knock off some low-lying ones and have wild apples, crab apples or whatever they're called.